Okay, so what if I told you there's a projector sitting at under $300 that runs actual Google TV, streams Netflix natively, autofocuses itself, corrects its own keystone, and has a sealed optical engine that's rated for 30,000 hours? No TV stick. No setup nightmare. Just point it at a wall and you're in business. That's the TCL Projector C1. TCL is the world's #2 TV brand. Backed by 44 years of TV-level picture calibration expertise, TCL projectors deliver TV-level picture quality with support for HDR10 video playback. So let's talk about it. First thing you notice when you pull this out of the box, it's genuinely small. Like, surprisingly so. It weighs around 4 pounds, and it's got this really clean, rounded form factor. Gray, minimal, no ugly vents screaming at you from every angle. It feels like a product that was actually designed, not just assembled. The build quality, for this price range, solid. Nothing feels cheap or plasticky in a bad way. The gimbal base, and we'll come back to that, feels sturdy when you're rotating it, not wobbly like some budget units I've handled. What's also cool is that power supply is built right in, so you're not carrying a brick adapter, just the unit and a cable. That's a portable projector that actually earns the word portable. Portability with projectors is usually a lie. You move it, and you spend 10 minutes fixing the image. TCL basically said, what if we just made that not a problem? The C1 has a 285-degree adjustable gimbal. You can tilt it sideways, angle it up at the ceiling, set it on a bedside table, and point straight up. And the moment it locks in, the autofocus kicks in, keystone correction handles the geometry, and it even has automatic obstacle avoidance. If something's blocking part of the image, a plant, a shelf, whatever, it detects it and scales the projection around it. I genuinely didn't expect that at this price. I set this on a bedside cabinet, aimed at the ceiling, and within maybe 8 seconds I was watching something hands-free, lying on my back. That's a use case that would have cost you much more before. Alright, the part everyone wants to know about. It is a native 1080p projector at 1920 by 1080 with HDMI 2.1 support for 4K input, so it accepts a 4K signal and downscales it cleanly. The throw ratio is 1.27 to 1, which means you do not need a large room. From around 8 feet, you can already reach close to a 100-inch screen. Projection size goes from 40 to 120 inches. Brightness is 230 ISO lumens and SGS certified, so this is a verified figure, not marketing inflation. In real use, it is not meant for daylight viewing. With a lamp on, or in a dim living room, it stays watchable. In a dark bedroom, it feels properly enjoyable. Color tuning is handled by TCL's TrueHue processing, which adjusts brightness, contrast, and color frame by frame. It also supports HDR10. So dark scenes do not fall into flat shadow areas as easily as typical budget LCD units. The high transmittance coated glass lens also helps keep edges sharper, so the image does not look overly soft. You get 4 picture modes: Standard, Cinema, Sport, and Game. Cinema mode feels the most balanced for movies, with contrast sitting at 1500 to 1, which is in line for this class of 1080p LCD projector. Overall, it is not trying to act like a 4K laser projector, but for its price range, the image quality feels solid, controlled, and more refined than most entry-level options. This one's worth a dedicated moment. TCL's ever-clear sealed optical engine has IP5X dust certification. That means the lens, the light path, all of it is enclosed. Dust doesn't get in. Over time, on cheap, unsealed projectors, dust gradually degrades your image. You get spots, softness, uneven brightness. With the C1, that just doesn't happen. The light source is rated for 30,000 hours of use, and TCL actually backs that up with 1,200 hours of verified durability testing. If you plan to use this thing for years, and at this price you should expect to, the build is designed for exactly that. So it's got Google TV, full, official, certified, not a workaround. Not a side-loaded APK situation, it's Netflix certified. YouTube, Prime, Disney+, everything just works from the remote. Speaking of the remote, it has dedicated Netflix, YouTube, and Prime buttons. You pick it up and go. Google Assistant is built in, so voice commands actually function well. Search, launch, control. And Google Cast is there too, so casting from your phone to a 120-inch wall is a real seamless option. The interface itself runs fast. I was genuinely surprised how snappy Google TV felt on this. Faster than some more expensive units I've tested. For storage and processing, MediaTek MT9630 chip, 2 GB RAM, 16 GB internal storage. Not powerhouse specs, but the software is optimized well enough that you don't feel the ceiling. For sounds, there's a single 8-watt speaker, Dolby Audio certified. The acoustic chamber is 188.4 cubic centimeters. Decent size for the unit. Here's the honest take.
How many crimes for this? Come out! Oh, the courtesy. Death by day.
It's fine. It goes up to 85 decibels at 1 meter. Mids are decent, there's some treble detail. Bass exists, but it's polite. You feel it a little on explosions and bass-heavy scenes, but it's not going to rattle anything. For casual viewing, a bedroom setup, a small room, it works. For a bigger space, or real cinematic immersion. Get a Bluetooth speaker, or run the 3.5mm AUX out into something better. That's not a knock, it's just physics. A projector at 1.77 kilograms doesn't have the acoustic volume for room-filling bass. You've got 6 audio EQ modes, and its stereo Class D amplifier chip means they're tuned well, rather than just being cosmetic toggles. Connectivity is simple, but complete. You get HDMI 2.1, USB 2.0, a 3.5mm audio out, and DC power in. It also supports Bluetooth 5.1, which works well for wireless speakers or input devices. Wi-Fi 5 with dual band 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz keeps streaming stable, even on a crowded network, so apps do not feel stuck or slow during normal use. The IR remote is basic, but reliable. Button response is quick, and navigation feels consistent without missed inputs. Here's who this is for. You've got a bedroom, a dorm, an apartment wall, and you want big screen entertainment without spending TV money and without the wall permanence of a mounted display. The C1 fits in a backpack. It sets up in under a minute. It runs your streaming apps natively, and it doesn't look cheap doing it. The things you give up at this price, absolute peak brightness for harsh lighting, 4K native sharpness, thundering bass, those are real trade-offs, not flaws. At around $200, that's the deal. And within that deal, TCL made remarkably few mistakes. The single speaker limitation is the only thing I kept wishing was different, but the setup experience, the portability, the sealed optics, the legitimate Google TV integration, and the image quality for the price, the C1 genuinely delivers on what it promises. If you're in the market, search TCL Projector on Amazon as there will be special discounts during Prime Day, check the description below for the latest deals, and see if this is the right fit for your setup.